Hello everyone. Welcome to Legal Talks with CS Yatin, where we explore landmark judgments that shape the law we live by. Today's case is not only fascinating but also confusing. How can a man legally be his own boss and his own employee? Let's unfold the curious and impactful judgment of Lee versus Lee's Air Farming Ltd of 1961, a case that reaffirmed the separate legal personality of a company even when it's a one-man show. Our story begins in 1954 in New Zealand. Mr. Geoffrey Lee, a qualified pilot and entrepreneur, formed a company named Lee's Air Farming Ltd. Its main object and purpose was aerial top dressing, spraying fertilizers and pesticides over farmland by aircraft. Now, here is a twist. Mr. Geoffrey Lee was not just the founder, he was the director, chief executive, and was also employed as a chief pilot under a formal employment contract. Though Mr. Lee controlled the entire company, in the eyes of law, the company was a separate legal entity. It could own property, sue, be sued, and even employ people, including Mr. Lee himself. Legally, this contract made Mr. Lee both the employer acting through the board and the employee acting as pilot. And because the company had legal personality of its own, this wasn't a contradiction. In 1956, while flying for his company on a routine aerial spraying mission, Mr. Lee's plane crashed. He died on the spot, leaving behind a grieving widow and child. Following Mr. Lee's death, his widow applied for compensation under the Workmen Compensation Act of that time. Her argument was Mr. Geoffrey Lee was an employee employed by Lee's Air Farming Ltd and died during the course of his employment. But the insurance company refused to pay. They argued that Mr. Lee was not an employee because he was the company. They said you can't be both master and servant at the same time. The case first went to the Court of Appeal. The court agreed with the insurance company, saying this contract of employment was a sham. They held that there was no genuine relationship of employer and employee. Mrs. Lee appealed to the Privy Council, and the Privy Council reversed the earlier decision. They ruled in her favor, confirming that the company and Mr. Lee were two distinct legal persons. The court emphasized that a company once incorporated becomes a real legal person. Even if one person controls it, the company and the individual remain legally separate. This judgment reinforced the following principles in corporate law. Number one, the separate legal entity. The company is distinct from its shareholders. And number two, dual capacity. A person can simultaneously be a director, shareholder, and an employee. The court's approach upheld commercial reality, allowing entrepreneurs to structure businesses efficiently under the corporate law protections. This principle applies in India under the Companies Act 2013. Even a one-person company can enter into contracts with its sole member, including employment agreement. Lee versus Lee is often cited in Indian courts when discussing corporate personality and validity of dual roles. If you have learned something new today, do hit the like button, share this video with your fellow law learners, and subscribe to Legal Talks with CS Yatin. Stay tuned for more legal stories simplified, visualized, and memorable.